I think in the short term, there's probably a little bit of complacency, both around the election risk that you point out, as well as the coronavirus. I think not an expert in infectious disease by any means, but it still seems like we need a little bit more data to know that this is going to be contained. It seems like the cutoff is kind of that first quarter. And then longer term, I don't know, over the next year or so, that we're not going to see more volatility around the U.S.
What does
election.
that mean? You're telling people just not to buy the market?
I think for
not
now,
to do anything in the market?
For now, what we're advising is not to try to trade short term around the next few days or what could be, coming days of volatility. But over the next year, we are overweight equities. We see equities moving higher. And so I think both the coronavirus and the political story don't derail our expectation that the economic expansion is continuing. Growth is probably going to slow a little bit in the U.S. Probably 1.5% GDP growth is our expectation in the U.S. But importantly, we could be looking at outside of the U.S., a reflation trade where you're going to see a pickup in activity, both in China once we get through this hump, and then also those trade partners, developed economies that trade with China as well.
I feel like we're getting through the hump. I mean, don't forget, by the way, the economy's good.
Yeah.
And earnings have been rebounding enough to make people feel better about what the state of the economy truly is. Earnings growth now 1.6%, revenue growth up nearly 5%. And we can get to some individual stories. But if you sort of make your list as to why you're trying to tell people and describe why the market is up, it's like, the bottom line fundamentals of why the market's here in the first place are all intact.
There are several conditions that are incredibly favorable, but I look at prices. Where is price today, and what do I do with that price? And looking at the screen, the challenge for me is...
You mean the valuation of the market?
What I mean by that is looking strategically what is lifting the market today. So for the very first time, we've got value that is leading the market higher today. I look at my holdings. I came on here thumping my chest that I bought Amazon today. Amazon's lower today. So I bought Amazon yesterday. So Amazon's actually lower. So the question for me becomes, are we going to have a handoff now? Can we have a pause in the FANGs? Can we have a pause in the hyper-growth stock names and hand off to value names? I don't know the answer to that.
A lot of the FANG names were up. A lot of the FANG names were up earlier. I mean, the rates are up today. All right, so the bank trade's working.
10 bips
bank trade's important.
15 bips, actually. Yeah. But can I just add something? Because I talked about the 10-year and crude oil. Those obviously two great sectors of value to your handoff question are financials and energy. But what about healthcare, right? Healthcare has been left for dead a lot, having to do with the possibility of drug pricing. But you can look there and you can see great dividend yields, particularly in the pharma names. Or another sector of value, the industrials. They actually got hit very hard on this coronavirus. You look at what Cat did. Obviously, Boeing's got its own problems, but you do see a lot of, drops, significant drops in industrials. Those are places that as we get past coronavirus and as you get, hopefully, CapEx picking up this year on the back of phase one, you can start to see the industrials trade as well. Now, let me give the important qualification. As a value investor, look, I feel like I've had my face rearranged for the past few years being a value investor and fighting this growth thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and I still look this good. So that was a rare compliment from you. I don't know if you realize that. Yeah.
No.
Well, here's the thing. Let's just be careful about the handoff. I want it to happen. I'm a value investor, but it takes more than one day to really feel that it's occurring.